And as you may have noticed, there's things going on all over campus. So we're happy to be able to take this time and happy to have you here to reconnect with the college if you haven't been here for a while. And as you know, that today we're honoring one of our colleagues, our faculty members, Dr. Roberta Steinbacher, who just recently retired this past spring. So we're going to get on to some things about her in a minute. I did want to give you some, we thought it'd be helpful maybe if some of you haven't been here a while to hear a little bit about the college and what's happening today, these days, and then we'll have some more information about Dr. Steinbacher, and then ask any of you that want to participate in an opportunity to share some of your experiences with Dr. Steinbacher. First, before I start launch into the program, I want to thank the people who put this event together. It's some really fabulous staff people, and in charge of all this has been Rachel Singer, who directs our student services unit. Lindsay Hobson, who's our admissions recruiter. You guys want to wave or something? Suzanne Conforti, who's the department coordinator. Jennifer Chambers, who's one of our students over there. And Barb Benevento, who does many things around the building, including help plan events and order food and things like that. So clearly without their diligence, this would not have happened at all. So thanks a lot to them. As part of homecoming, last night the university held its annual Distinguished Alumni Awards ceremony, and for that event, each college nominates someone to receive the award at the college level, and then there's 3 university-wide awards that are given by the president. And the college this year had nominated and accepted and gave the award to the Honorable Nikki Antonio, who I know was planning on being here today, so hopefully she'll come sometime during the program. But she was a longtime Lakewood City Council person and is now in her 2nd term at the House of Representatives in Ohio from the 13th District. So it was a tremendous honor. I got to be up on the stage representing the college and escort Nikki to get her award with the president. And 2 of the 3 university-wide awards were given to public servants as well. Honorable Louis Stokes received an award from the president, and Honorable Martin Sweeney, who's the president of Cleveland City Council, also received an award. So I was really thrilled to be up there with all those people who have worked in the public sector and as public servants for many, many years. It was quite wonderful, and of course Congressman Stokes, contrary to everybody else, had no notes and gave a wonderful speech, but he's had a lot of practice. So it was a really nice event, and we had a table. Dean Hill got a table so that we could all sit there and help honor Nikki Antonio. Dr. Steinbacher was there as well. So it was a great event. Let's see, are there any other elected officials here today? Oh, Nikki's not here yet, but I just want to recognize people. The little one's clapping. Good, good. Maria, you got him started off well. He's clapping at public officials. Expo officials. Bill Denham is here. He's not. And Nancy Roth. All right. See, this is the best place. We don't get a lot of good vibes these days, so it's good to have people that are so dedicated. Before you leave today, if you have a chance, take a wander up on the 2nd floor. We have plaques, pictures, and all kinds of things providing testimony to the incredible service that people from this college have given to Cleveland and Northeast Ohio. So I invite you to do that. And of course, many of you in the room are alumni of this great college. And you know, our main point here, other than to honor Dr. Steinbacher, is to thank you for those of you that went through our programs. Northeast Ohio is a better place because you came here and were passionate and wanted to get an education that would allow you to go out and make a difference in your community. And it's the most wonderful thing to see your names in the paper, your names on the blogs, your names everywhere, and say, you know, that person went to the Levin College, and there are hundreds and hundreds of you. This past, I think it was in May, we graduated our 3,999 graduate out of this college. So I suspect in August there was a one to put us over the 4,000 mark. So that's truly great, and there's so many people that do so many wonderful things every day and every week in Northeast Ohio. So thank you for those of you who went through our programs. Thank you for doing that and for making a difference, and we're happy that you could come back today and visit. All right, great. All right, so before you leave, make sure you look at all the Dr. Steinbacher memorabilia. Quite amazing. Please stop by the APA table and the recruiting table before you leave. They're located at the back with Lindsay Hudson. You'll learn more in a minute about why I want you to do that. Okay, so update on college activities. Our enrollment has vacillated between 600 and 650 or so for many, many years. So that's about where we are now. And we have a more increasing proportion of undergraduates in college for a variety of reasons. But we have now 11 undergraduate and graduate degrees in this college, and soon, hopefully, we'll have a 12th. The BA in Economic Development is sitting in OBOR under review, so that's one of those things Dr. Steinbacher put together and created and worked with people across campus. So I've been the Associate Dean this is my 7th year. Dr. Minnie Jones is now the chair of the Department of Urban Studies. And as you know, Ned Hill has been the dean since 2007 as well. So that's who is, top leadership in the college, faculty, and we're doing everything we can. It's fun. Sometimes it's not so fun, but mostly it's fun. So a little bit on the faculty. So we've had a fair number of people retired over the last, let's say, 10 years. I saw the demographic shift of baby boomers referred to as the silver tsunami the other day. I wish I had thought that up. It's so good. And our tsunami sort of started a little earlier. But for people that you may have had in class or might know that have retired in the last 10 years, Jennifer Alexander, now she's gone on to another place, but, no, that didn't sound right, to another university. Virginia Benson retired, Larry Keller, he's here, there he is. Although, of course, he's still quite engaged in the college teaching and supervising students and things. You might know that Professor Krumholz retired 2 years ago. He again is still engaged at the college, teaching for us, doing research, helping students as much as he always did, just maybe not quite so much. Cy Murray is retired. Cam Stivers retired. Also still engaged in supervising dissertations. There's one of our students right back there. So, people just will not let go of us, which is a testimony to how much they really appreciate their time here. And of course, Roberta retired this past May. So looking a bit forward, we've recently hired a whole bunch of faculty. Ben Clark, Tatiana Guzman, Joe Mead, Stephanie Ryberg-Webster, Haifeng Chen, is he still there? There he is, right there. And Jordan Yin, Jennifer Madden, and Jim Wiles, the three of them have been hired as college lecturers along with Wynn Weiser, who you know, but she's been here a while, but now she's really a faculty member, like a full-time faculty member, all right? Actually, I should do that. Could those of you who are faculty members just maybe stand up and wave? You probably know all of them, but Donna Kaufman, Brian Midwick, Wynn Weiser, Haifeng Chen. And of course, Mr. Dr. Myers Kaufman, who's in the physics department that many of you have had in environmental studies. Let's see. This year now, we're searching for 3 additional faculty, including hiring a new Levin chair. So those processes are underway, and we hope to find 3 equally talented people. Over the last 3 years or so, our Levin faculty members have published, I think, around 100 articles, books, and book chapters, and participated in reports. We did a rough calculation last year, and I know they've published more, and secured about $500,000 in research and technical assistance grants and things like that. So, we're one of the bigger departments on campus, but I think we're definitely one of the most productive departments on campus in terms of publication, research and publications. So that's always a good thing. And this last month, Professor Krumholtz was honored by the Ohio chapter of the American Planning Association. He received the President's Award as an outstanding planner, and I had an opportunity to go to that luncheon, and it was fabulous to have Norm walk up and everybody paying attention, and they had a video, and it was really nice. So he's been recognized by the APA chapter, and you all know him. So it was a nice event. Over the last few years, we've expanded our student services office. So we now have 2 advisors, a career services person, an admissions recruiter, and Rachel Singer, who's directing that. And one of our highest priorities these days is recruiting students. It's becoming challenging for people to afford to go to college, and we want to get people here and help them figure out a way to do that. So one of the things you can do before you leave, if you want to let Lindsay know, if you'd be interested in helping us find talented, passionate, and smart students who want to come to college, we would really love it if you'd work with us to think about that, doing that with us. We have a couple international initiatives if you're interested in that sort of thing. You might know we've had an ongoing program with Chungang University in South Korea. We also now have an initiative with South China University of Technology in Guangzhou, which is a little bit north of Hong Kong. And there's another former elected official right there.
Come to here and speak. I couldn't have a drink with color.
And Dr. Chen has been really helpful with Dean Hill and setting up that program. It's a dual bachelor's program where students from China come here for 2 years and then get a degree from both schools. And we've had several faculty getting Fulbright scholarships and going overseas and doing fun things. So a lot of activity going on as a college as usual. Things shift around a bit over the years, but it's still a very lively place, and we have great colleagues, all of us, who argue about things in a respectful way and figure out how to solve problems. So I think we're a good model for a lot of things these days. All right, I want to, Maria, where are you? There you are. Okay, so one of the things we wanted to feature today is the American Planning Association student chapter, and I want to ask Maria if you want to come up, or you want to just get this microphone. Yeah, somebody watch the child, think it over. So the American Planning Association, it's our student chapter, and I just wanted to give Maria a chance to tell you about what they've been doing. And thank you.
Hi everyone. For those of you I don't know, Maria Rokakis. I'm a Master's in Public Administration student here. I'm graduating in May. This is Alex. He's just he's going to stay up here with me. This is my little boy. So the CSU APA this year, we are currently doing some fundraising. Audrey is back there selling some sweatshirts that I'm wearing. We also have them style. But basically our fundraising goes towards getting as many students as possible to the National APA Conference. It's in Atlanta this year, so it will not be cheap to get there, obviously. But last year our fundraising allowed us to go to Chicago. There were a dozen of us that went for, I believe it was 4 nights, and we each paid $100. Not including the conference, but most of us did that for free also with conference scholarships. So we're hoping to raise a good amount of money this year to get the students there. Some of the things we've done, we've had some speakers come in. we're going to be doing a drive for Cogswell Hall. We're going to be collecting items for Cogswell Hall, which is in the Detroit Shoreway neighborhood, a home for the homeless shelter. And I think you're as entertained as he is right now. And we had a really great discussion last week. We talked about the Opportunity Corridor, just a bunch of students. We had about 40 students show up for that. So we're really trying to get as many students engaged and give them as many opportunities as possible. So if you're interested in the sweatshirt, it's not an APA sweatshirt, it's a Live-In College sweatshirt, so you can check those out in the back. And yes, thank you.
Well, you did a great job. All righty. We're a little behind schedule, but oh well. Okay, so at this point we want to shift gears a little bit and basically start talking about how great Roberta is. I hope you were watching some of the slides up there when you came in and saw. I know that one of the things that's always striking is that the fact that for new students coming in, we all were pretty young at one point, and it's always fun to see people years ago. You guys know that, I don't know, do you want me to call you Dr. Steinbacher or Roberta? Roberta? Doesn't matter. Okay, she was one of the founders of the college along with Tom Campbell, came to CSU in about 1970 after graduating with a PhD in social psychology from St. Louis University. And in 2010, we named this atrium in her honor to recognize her professional contributions to the Live-In College and her financial contributions in support of students over the years. And at that time, Congressman Dennis Kucinich offered a testimonial and had it read into the congressional record honoring her work, and I think much of that statement is on the little cards that probably were on your seats. Dr. Steinbacher came here and started working and helped found the college. She then worked for Governor Dick Celeste for a few years as the administrator of the Ohio Bureau of Employment Services, came back to Live-In as our undergraduate director, and pretty much started generating programs, designing academic programs, and she's the major reason why we have the programs that we have today, and created 20 degree completion programs with community colleges over the years, and the Credit for Life experience, which I know at least one of you have taken advantage of that in helping to get your degree. In terms of teaching, I'm sure she's pretty much taught every class there is to teach in the college, except for one of those she specialty courses that occasionally we offer, not so much anymore, but the core. And I think based on what I've seen and how she is with students, there are thousands of students, because she taught a little bit at a couple other places before here, thousands of students that have appreciated the knowledge she has in her field of research, the nurturing and the time she spent with students, and that's why you're here, because you know how that is. Dr. Steinbacher's research has included things in management and urban studies, but her primary research has been broadly in women's studies, and then exploring the sociology and sociobiology of reproduction, meaning the study of cultural norms and technologies involved in selection of a baby's sex, usually to be a boy. Interesting topic. She's that research got her in great public notoriety at various times. She was asked to speak all over the world on that research and sparked some controversy here. The research was featured in newspaper articles, including the New York Times, the San Francisco Chronicle, the Washington Post, lots of papers across the planet. Even last summer, an article in the Atlantic Monthly magazine cited Roberta's work on sex selection. She got to be on TV. That's pretty amazing for an academic. You don't usually get that. CBS Evening News with Dan Rather, that was a while ago. 48 Hours, and by golly, the Oprah Winfrey Country Show. So I don't know if there's anybody else in the building that can say they got to be on Oprah Winfrey. I'm sure not. So these are great accomplishments in academic administration, teaching, and research. And finally, I wanted to just focus a bit on what Dr. Steinbacher has meant to the faculty and students in terms of influencing our careers. So I have a story, and then when I'm finished, I want to not say any more, and I want to hand the microphone to the first person who wants to tell their story about Dr. Roberta Steinbacher and what she did for you, with you. All right, so that's the plan. You're all looking pretty nervous. Okay, so I met Roberta in 1993 when I came here to interview for a job, the job as a faculty member. And she said, you know, we're going to start these some environmental studies programs, and we think you could help us do that. And I said, great, because that's what I want to do, planning and environmental studies. It was perfect. And I'm happy I'm here, because otherwise I would have ended up at Clemson, and I think I'm happier here, honestly. But I don't think that if I hadn't met with Roberta, I might have chosen to go down there. I really might have. She brought me into the college and introduced me to people, and I got to sort of see it through her eyes, and that we had a multidisciplinary faculty and the kind of students we had here that were passionate and worked really hard, and that just was really appealing to me, and I think it's a great reason why I came here. She has mentored so many faculty in this college, women and men, on teaching and research and how to be an academic leader. That's a gift that she's given to us, and passes on her time that she spent in the 1960s in academia and trying to promote women's studies and make sure that women got to participate in all kinds of academic life and, you know, whatever they wanted to do. And it's a gift because it's not only something that helped us, but it always reminds us that we're responsible for doing the same thing to new faculty members that come in and to our students. So she's my mentor. I wouldn't have been the fabulous chair no, I'm kidding. Being the chair of the department is the hardest job on campus, let me tell you. There's no doubt about it. And she was the first chair of urban studies. And I couldn't begin to tell you the numbers of hours that I spent processing what am I going to do about this with Roberta? How am I going to handle that? So she always says, put the student at the center when you're trying to think about what to do in terms of policy, practice, and administration. Put the student at the center. And then it gets pretty obvious, if you really do that, what needs to happen. So I think that's what helps me as an administrator, and it helps me with faculty. Try to understand how to create the best environment for faculty to work, do their work, and the environment, the learning environments we create for students. So that's my story. We wouldn't have accomplished what we have without Dr. Steinbacher and her guidance and wisdom. So how about we give a round of applause to Roberta and then move on. All right, so we have not only one, we have two microphones. Oh, wait, I gotta take my glasses off because I'll trip and fall if I bring them while I'm walking. You only wear them when you're reading. All right, so everyone's looking at the ceiling. Come on, Deb. You don't have to stand up here. I know you will.
Okay. Hi. Uh-oh, look out, Roberta. Roberta Steinbacher hired me in 1981. Now, I don't even want to think, I've not done the math, I know how many years it is, I just choose not to acknowledge them. To be the administrative assistant in the Department of Urban Studies. We were on the 4th floor of the Corlett building with a row of filing cabinets dividing our two offices. And I was scared half out of my mind to think that I was going to run this thing, whatever it was, and whatever I was supposed to do, and I didn't need to worry because I often joke that Roberta kind of brought me up, and in a very real sense she did. We had a lot of fun. I think that's the first thing. She taught me an awful lot, and I think the best way that she teaches is by example. You know, she's not the kind of person who's going to sit you down and give you a big lecture. She taught me a lot of things. She taught me that you take your work seriously, but you don't take yourself seriously. There's life to be lived. There's things you ought to be having fun with. If your work isn't fun, why bother? But take your work seriously, because that's important stuff. And what Wendy said about being student-centered, I couldn't agree anymore. And I think that's how I ended up with a 30-year career in student services, because she encouraged me to work with students when I knew that's what I really loved to do. The other thing she taught me was don't ever call the meeting until you've counted your votes. And I think that our leaders in Washington might have not learned that lesson very well. The other thing that she taught me was you criticize people in private and you praise them in public. Humiliating somebody is demotivating. It's horrible. It's a shameful thing to do. I've been on the receiving end of it. It's no fun. It's not how you manage people. It's not how you raise children. You praise people publicly. You give credit to those who help you every day. And I can remember her many times saying, and here's my staff. These are the people who prop me up all day. And you don't know, Roberta, what that meant to me, to hear that. And the last thing, well, there's more, but I'm going to sum this up, was sometimes it is better to ask forgiveness than permission. And that's probably the one that's got me in more trouble until I gained a little bit of wisdom over the years. You got to know when you can get away with that. And it took me a while, I think, to learn that one. Roberta, I've said to you many times that you're my role model, and I got that snort. Like, you're not going to believe that, but it's true. And more than that, Roberta, you're my friend. And I thank God for you. Thank you.
Go in chronological order here from earlier. I'm Jan Roberta, and I actually predate knowing Roberta just before you.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. But we had some good times back then. I want to say, Roberta, this woman gave me an opportunity. She broadened my understanding of many things, and that's helpful, and then really got me started on my career. And I don't know what more anybody can ask for. So I'll start out with that opportunity because, and some of you might have already heard this story, but it was just kind of fate. Walking at lunchtime down here to Cleveland State and walking into the Urban Studies building and running into Carol, she was your predecessor, Debbie, and coming in and saying, I know school's starting in 2 weeks, but I'd really like more information about your master's degree. And the next thing you know, I was Roberta's grad assistant. And I was sitting in that library doing the research about the sexual selection of sexual choice, you know. So, but anyway, that was kind of interesting because I never even thought about that before. But that's how Roberta kind of broadened my perspective on a lot of things. That there's really no black and white a lot of times. You know, just understanding that there's a whole big world out there. And she really made me like stop and think about a lot of things, and a lot of things that I was questioning in my mind. And I thought that was really, really helpful to have a mentor that did that. And then lastly, it was because of Roberta's contacts and how she prepared me, and the college as well, that got me started over at the Growth Association and then on to running the Slavic Village Association, back to the Growth Association, Cuyahoga Rep, and now the Cuyahoga Soil and Water Conservation District. And with that love of Cleveland and being able to do something that's helping our city stay great. So thank you, Roberta, very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I got it. Is this it? No. Not a great public speaker, but one thing I had to speak on was Roberta Steinbacher. There's seldom that you go through life and meet a person that means so much in your life and makes such a difference in your life that they cover from your business contacts to your investing in you and believing in you. Thank you for Roberta for not allowing me to have ceilings, not at work, not personally, and most of all, not allowing me to settle for the things I thought I was capable of doing. Also, with providing me with a philosophy about investing in other people is one of the best products you can have out of life. When I see you mentor other people as well as the way you mentor me, the products of what you did is things that I do now with students that come across, my life. I can't tell you how much you've meant to me and the things that you've done for me. Thank you for being Roberta.
I met Dr. Steinbacher in 2008. I was the ever grateful recipient of the Campbell Steinbacher Fellowship. And I was just inspired by you. You taught me how to be a better person, and you believed in me.